Defense lawyers are pushing for a change of venue in this case, and the case has almost reached the point where the total jury pool is complete. And tomorrow, the attorneys will get to issue challenges. Our legal analyst, Tom Cranmer, joins us now to talk about today's turn of events. Always surprises, Tom. We've said that since this case began, right?
Joanne, I think we're going to see more down the road as well.
I think so, especially with 4 or 5 month trial expected ahead of us. Let's talk about this request today by Bobby Ferguson's attorneys and Kwame Kilpatrick for a change of venue. What do you make of that at this point in this case?
Well, first of all, we have to remember change of venue means that the lawyers, in particular the defense lawyers, are asking that the case be moved out of the city of Detroit. In essence, what they're saying is we don't think we can get a fair trial here in Detroit. It's coming at a late point in time, but I think the reason that it's coming is that there's been some particular emphasis recently in news reports about what happened in the prior trial, the Bobby Ferguson trial, the fact that there was a holdout juror, if you will. And the fear is on the defense side that if in fact a juror feels compelled to vote not guilty and they're spotlighted like they were in the Bobby Ferguson case, that will chill their ability to vote not guilty in this case.
Not only, though, do they want it out of the city. Heather Catallo reported to us earlier tonight, they're saying they want this case brought out of state.
That's true, and we've seen that happen, but only rarely. You may recall a case called the Vincent Chin case that happened a couple of decades ago, and in that case was actually tried in Cincinnati, although the alleged offense occurred here in the city.
Interestingly, you said a couple minutes ago that this request comes a little late, which I think in big cases we often hear about it before the trial ever begins for the change of venue. But interestingly, Judge Edmonds said it's too early to make a decision on the change of venue. Explain what that means. That caught me strange considering what we usually see.
Yes, I think what the court is saying and what Judge Edmonds is saying is that, look, I understand defense what your concern is, but I haven't really seen that from the jurors' responses, and I don't have a feeling yet that it's appropriate or necessary in this case. So from my perspective, the court's perspective, it's premature.
I think skeptics always think that when certain things are brought up that it could be because if these defendants were convicted, that this is an appeal issue. Is it possible that that's why this was brought up?
Well, possibly. Certainly we saw another issue that was raised by the former mayor before where he indicated that he didn't trust his lawyer, Jim Thomas.
Yes.
And this is a potential issue saying that, look, I can't get a fair trial here in the city of Detroit, and if the judge denies the request to change venue, that is to move the case, and there is a conviction, potentially that's an appellate issue.
Well, we'll be talking to you again tomorrow, I know, because tomorrow, of course, they're going to whittle down finally from that 60 or 62 down to the jury pool. So big day tomorrow.
That's exactly right. And the lawyers have the ability to exercise what's called peremptory challenges, meaning that they can excuse jurors essentially for no reason, no stated reason, and that should narrow us down to the final people who will potentially hear the case, assuming that Judge Edmonds doesn't change venue.